Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this fabulous mantra and meditation class where we will be talking about some of the fundamental principles of what are mantras, how can we benefit from mantras, where are we going with the mantras, and all that good stuff. So I think it's appropriate whenever we start something new, whenever we begin a class, whenever we start our day, what do? We use mantras. Why do we use the mantras when we start something new, when we start our day? Because it invokes the divine energies, the positive energies, the protection energies, the guided energies, and the divine vibrations to allow our focus or our path or our journey, whatever we're starting, a positive way. Mantras are positive vibrations that are designed to invoke positive energies. So let's begin. Cecilia, I think you've got a great voice. So why don't you go ahead and start us out?
Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Om Suklam Bharadaram Vishnum Sashivaranam Chaturbhujam Prasanavaranam Dhyaye Savavigno Prashantaye Om Bhurabhuva Suvaha Tatsavitovahenyam Bhago Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So I'd like to just say what those mantras are. The first one was invoking the Guru principle, whoever that is for you. For us, it's Shirdi Sai Baba, Jesus, and Swami Kaleshwar.
Mother
Second
Mary,
is good. Huh?
the mother.
Second was Ganesh, who removes the obstacles. So we have a smooth video conference today, and helps also removing traffic obstacles for anybody who wants to use it that way. The other is the Gayatri Mantra. The Gayatri Mantra, oldest mantra known to mankind. It invokes the benevolent presence of the mother, and it's the form of the mother that does not play any illusions on you. So it's a very powerful mantra, and you can use that in your meditation, especially for the next 9 days through Navaratri.
Great, fantastic, wonderful. Thank you for invoking that energy. And I got a little bit ahead of ourselves. I'm so focused on Navaratri right now. It's like, can't forget the mother, but I realize it's Guru, Ganesh, Gayatri. So thank you, Cecilia. Appreciate it. Great. So for those of you watching, these are the foundations of Sri Kaleshwar, the great saint of India, who was with us till about 2012, and a lot of us met him, and we spent time with him. And the cornerstone of his teachings were centered around mantras. So, what are mantras? Mantras are ancient um, syllables, words, or sentences that have unique vibrational frequencies. And what's beautiful about them is that when you put them together to create a vibrational code, which is unique for whatever energy that you want to invoke, like we did in the opening mantras, the guru, which is the remover of darkness through invoking the light. Ganesh is that mystical being, that intrinsic, we call him the elephant man, because the saying goes that before the divine, Ganesh is there to remove the obstacles in your life, the blockages, the negative forces. And then Gayatri, which is the universal mother principle, which is the nature that we call upon in this world, physical world, to help us, to heal us, to show us vibrationally who we are and where we came from. So these mantras are the cornerstone of Sri Kaleshwar's system of teachings, and these techniques were cognized and recognized through what are palm leaf manuscripts, which are thousands of years old, that Sri Kaleshwar had read, discovered, and brought the knowledge forward of the power of these mantras to do what? Uplift the consciousness of humanity and heal those who chant them. Those are fundamentally the two principles that he focused on, was to increase the consciousness, heal the soul, and to really remove the covering of who we are and where we came from. So that's really the purpose of these mantras. And in India, the mystical tradition has always been centered around mantras. You chant mantras for a specific outcome or to manifest personal change or transform an individual practitioner in their personal spiritual practice. And so when we chant these mantras, which are words and syllables and sentences, you access specific energies through the intention or the specific outcome desired by the person repeating it. I'll give you a really simple example that has, these, besides the three mantras that we chanted beforehand, is Om Namah Shivaya. It's an epic, historic, and very amazing mantra. And this particular mantra, as an example, is broken up into Om, which is that greening syllable, that universal consciousness opening door of greeting to the universe. Na. Na is the first and represents, as an example, the five elements. And in the ancient Vedic scriptures, they talk about Na being the first element associated with the thumb, which is linked with the earth element. Because we're comprised of the elements, you'll see that Na represents the earth. Ma represents the index finger, which is Ma, which is the fire element. She, which is the she of ether or the expanded sky. Va. Va represents water, and water is so amazingly powerful because 80% we're made of the water element. You know, if you look at it, Na represents the earth, which is the bones and the muscle. Ma, which is the fire, which is the temperature of the blood going through our veins, which is the life force and carries oxygen. She, which is the infinite, unmanifested ether, space, consciousness. Va, water, and Ya is the air element. So the question is, why would you want to repeat these mantras? What's the outcome? What is it? And when you do a mantra like this, it starts to work on your subtle elements within your body to make it balanced. And I'm going to bring up a picture of Swami Kaleshwar. So, and I'm going to also bring him into the picture of how he used the palm leaf book so you can see it. I'm going to just share my screen with you guys. Let me just do that. Hold on a second. share, share, share.
We
Sunny,
see Paul instead.
what?
We see Paul instead.
Yeah, great. So this is an example of who Swami was. And you can see a picture of a palm leaf book and him reading the palm leaf book. And you'll see down here on the bottom, the I'll show this in a little bit. He used these palm leaf books for many of the systems of mantras and practices and processes that he used to elevate his students. I spent 14 years in India studying with him, working with him, uh, managing the palm leaf books for him, and also helping him with his programs and getting the knowledge out. And like I said, I was there from 1998 to 2012. And then those that knowledge was spread throughout many continents: the US, Europe, Japan, Eastern Europe, and a couple of other places. And so Swami really was a master of, how should I say it, of mantras, processes, and vibrations. And his goal was to get people to experience supernatural experiences so that they can bridge their awareness to reality of the physical form. So a lot of people had Mother Divine Darshan. Many people had Jesus Darshan. Many people experienced angels. Many people experienced divine souls, like Shirdi Sai Baba, where they were actually connected directly. And that was his intention. He wanted to create masters. He wanted to create saints. He wanted to create people that could go out in the world and experience the divine themselves directly. So let me go ahead and stop sharing for a second. Hold on a second. I love technology. It's just so unique. Okay, can you guys see everybody here? Okay, great. Fantastic. All right. So my technology is kind of a little bit having some difficulties. So that's the purpose. And I gave an example, of a simple mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, helping balance the elements, because when your system of elements are in harmony and strong, like your nervous system, your mental clarity, your breath, the water in the body, all these elements, when they start to become stronger vibrationally, it has an impact on us with or without our notice. And like I said, these techniques, these mantras, came from palm leaf books that were written down on these small leaves and preserved over thousands of years. We carbon dated these palm leaf books to be at least 2,000 to 3,000 years old. And so who wrote them? All these great rishis, all these great beings, all these advanced seers wrote down a lot of these formulas. Why? Because they knew, they practiced, they saw the need of humanity who was stuck in illusion and stuck in their own negativity, so to speak, that there was a way out. So my experience and what Swami said was that by chanting these vibrational mantras, that is the fastest and the most powerful way to shift your energy, shift your vibrations, shift your thoughts, shift your experience of consciousness, shift your awareness of what's possible around you and within you. So that was why Swami and his mission was so important. So I'm going to talk about why do we need mantras? How do they affect us? And how to use them in the proper way. Like I said, the vibrational frequency of bijas or sounds or syllables are specific to certain channels designed to specifically connect your soul, whether you believe you have a soul or not. We do, because when we die, we depart the body, and what's left is the elements. So these mantras are designed specifically to connect us to the divine aspects of creation. And just depending on what you need, there's a mantra designed to pull that energy to your soul. And along with your personal intention, you can create anything. You can create abundance. You can create a peace of mind. You can release yourself of any pain, karmas, or heartbreak that you've experienced that you're still carrying with you, so that if you really want to change, you can change yourself from within. And that's why mantras are have so much power, is because mantra repetition along with meditation have the ability to change and transform you vibrationally from within. So we talked a little bit about using mantras and meditation. Meditation is a real simple practice where you close your eyes. We have two physical eyes here, right? We're constantly doing what with our physical eyes? We're constantly focusing outside. We're constantly focusing on the external stimulus and influence of the world around us. So when we do that, we absorb those vibrations through our eyes and through our body and through our awareness and through our consciousness. Meditation is putting a time out to the external stimuli and allowing your two eyes to physically close, which automatically awakens your third eye, your conscious third eye, your ability to focus your energy within. So mantras plus meditation have a tremendous power to shift our awareness and our focus to the energy within us. And that begins the journey of transformation. Now, the question may be, well, what's in it for me? Why do I want to even do these mantras? So there are a couple of reasons that I'm going to go into. Self-healing. All of us, I know for one, when I went to India and I wanted to explore possibilities, because I felt my energy was being depleted and that I needed to heal and make whole and rejuvenate the energy, which we call the soul, and to cut the negativity and feed my soul with positive vibrations. Because that's what the soul is. It's a system of energy. So you can feed it what you want. You can feed it negative energy. You can feed it with fear. You can hit it with negative unworthiness thoughts. You can do all sorts. We've done this ad infinitum. So self-healing is a natural byproduct of mantra meditation and mantra repetition. Because what it does is that it quiets the mind. It feeds the soul divine energy, because as you're repeating these mantras, your soul and your consciousness is connecting to source. It's connecting to divinity. It's connecting to both the mother and the father energy, the creation energy of this universe. And in that way, when we touch that source energy, what does it do? It we automatically receive. We automatically go silent. We automatically begin to open ourselves up to a higher dimensional energy that supports us, which leads us to the second aspect of why would we want to do mantras, you know? One part, one of the byproducts of doing these meditations and the mantras is energetic support. It's a novel concept, but when you begin to let go of those negative thoughts and emotions and feelings and perceptions and embrace a higher dimensional, higher divine experience, we experience happiness. What is happiness? It's when we and our system are in harmony with the universal natural system of consciousness. We rejuvenate. We recapture our vitality and we experience peace. Not a boring peace, but an energetic peace that purifies, strengthens the soul, quiets the mind and the chatter that it is accustomed to. And it really kind of dissolves a lot of the challenges in life, a lot of the personal karmas that we have, a lot of the negativity that we interact with from within and with other people. So we need that influx of divine energy to help us energetically become more harmonious from within, and also to be able to support our daily lives and the clarity that we develop through meditation and mantra in order to what? Manifest what we need and what we want in our lives. Abundance, a healthy relationship. You know, so many people I know, they come to me because they're in a toxic relationship and they don't know how to create harmony, because the right relationships can create more love and more energetic exchanges with your partner. But when the relationship is based on negative toxicity, it depletes us. So we want to shift and change the relationship from within us and to create positive influences around us. And that begins by balancing the inner elements. You know, once we start to focus on balancing the inner elements, I'll give you an example. Sometimes when we have too much activity in our lives, they call that rajasic, you know, it's you just can't stop, you know? You know, it's like if you're a doctor and you're seeing 10, 15, 20 patients a day, you don't have time to be centered. You don't have time to, you're always in that rajasic fire, uncontrolled energy. And that's why it's so important to remain stable and calm, which it means that you're established in the earth element. You're smoothing out the air element by breathing deeply, using the prana from the universe, and to be able to increase the positive by inhalation and exhaling, letting go of all the tension. Let's take a moment here and really kind of just do that. Let's just close our eyes for a second here. And let's just take a deep breath and consciously be aware of inhaling the prana, the life force that's around us, even though you can't see it. When you inhale, you're breathing in all this positive energy and then holding it for a moment before you exhale, letting go of the stress and the strain and the toxic CO2 in our bodies. And you can feel and experience how that regulates blood flow, regulates the oxygen, regulates your whole system. And you can do several techniques that Swami Kalashwar helped to shed light on. You can either repeat Om Namah Shivaya quietly to yourself, or use the technique that he suggested, which is Soham on the in-breath. The breath, when it goes in, it produces a sound, very subtle. So. And then when exhaling through the mouth, hum. And this is a technique, very simple, but it goes with the natural regulatory vibrations of Soham, Soham, Soham. That's the natural sound or the vibration that your body automatically produces when it breathes. So I'm going to pause for a second here before we kind of move on. Isn't it amazing how just to pause in this class, just to say, okay, let's pause for a second and let's use the breath work and use the energy and use the vibrational frequency of mantras in order to change or recalibrate the vibrations. Because what happens is, as you begin to start your practice of meditation, it allows you to automatically, vibrationally start connecting to the divine energies, to the angels. All of a sudden, you feel that energy around you, or a divine soul like Jesus, or Shirdi Sai Baba, or Mother Divine, because they're always around us. But we're not aware of those vibrations. Meditation is designed to make you aware of what is within you and what is around you. These are really important techniques because as you begin to use mantras, your consciousness and your awareness begins to heighten. And that's what we want. We want people to be heightened in their awareness of the energy within them and the energy around them. Okay, does anybody have any questions that they want to ask or share? We're going to open it up before we go to the next section.
So can I ask a question, Paul? So is this set of mantras, are all these mantras unique to Kaleshwar? And then the way you were describing it, it sounds like almost energetic passwords in a way to kind of unlock those things within yourself. Is that kind of what it is?
Yeah, exactly. Just imagine if you desire something and someone gave you, here, repeat this mantra, do it for 41 days, and then see what happens energetically. It's like a key that opens that energy and makes you receptive to the vibrations of what it is. Okay, let's say Mother Divine. You want to connect to Mother Divine. There are mantras for being able to do that. Well, let's say you want abundance. Okay, there's mantras to do that. In the earth element, for example, there is a mantra which is designed to create prosperity through the channel, which we call Lakshmi. Om Aim Klim Srim Om Mahalakshmi Aina Namaha. It's one of a series of mantras that are very powerful. So yes, I would say that these are just channels or vibrational frequencies to energy within creation that you can tap into. Does that answer your question?
It does, and then one more follow up too. So darshan is to see in the physical form, in
Right.
like the material realm.
Right. Right.
My mother, Jesus, with my back, I grew up Catholic. What's the benefit? Obviously, I would like the experience, but why would someone want to put in the time and energy required to have that experience? Or is that a high peak in spirituality, or what would that be?
Yeah, it's definitely a higher peak of being able to witness the creator in form. And she has many forms, and she has the ability to bless you with many different things. I mean, it's Swami's philosophy was, if you want to experience the creator, Mother Divine, for example, like they have mantras for her. The Gayatri mantra, thousands of years ago was cognized by a great saint who said, I want to experience your form, but the benevolent form of you, not the duality invoking form of you, right? Because, she is the duality. This whole creation is just a reflection of duality and manifestation of differences of opinion and differences of people. Ultimately, when you have the experience of God within you, then you see it all around you. You see it in the people that you interact with. You see it in the soul of another human being. So different people have different desires and different things that they want to experience. Some people just want to be happy in their lives. Some people just want to feel love. Some people want to experience the angels. Some people want to communicate with Mother Divine. It's possible on this path. Go ahead, Sis.
So if I was to do these mantras every day, first question is, what's the time commitment involved, since everybody's got busy lives? And secondly, if I'm doing this routinely, can it help me with some of the things that I experience in my life? For instance, anxiety, fearfulness. You mentioned prosperity, being able to help with that so that the other things, like I mentioned, anxiety, fear, will lessen. Will this help me in that?
Yeah. So yes, I would say yes to that. But you have to understand, like the commitment is like 41 days usually. 41 days or 101 days where you do repetition of a mantra with a bead, with a what we call a mala, 108 beads, so you can count, right? And so what the process is designed to do is to take you through a period of 41 days, and then you receive the energetic imprint of that process so that you can begin to start to see yourself change. So what does it mean, change? Okay, great. So let's say if you ask for prosperity, okay, and you start repeating this mantra, what the energy of the mantra will do is mirror to you that which you need to release and let go in your life in order to get through and get open to the concept of what prosperity means, right? And so, like you said, I'll give an example. For me, when I started pursuing prosperity, it was like, I need more money in my bank account, Paul. How do I do that? Okay. And then I said, okay, I'm going to do this 41-day process with this specific mantra. And what started happening was the energy started to build inside of me. And as it builds inside of me, it's not like you're supposed to ignore everything. That imagine if God came to you and say, Paul, you need to see this. You have fear when it comes to money. Do you see that? So my soul started reflecting to me, and my consciousness started showing me you have fear associated with prosperity. You have old belief systems about who you are and what you're capable to do. You need to see that. You need to see how you hold your worthiness connected to this concept of prosperity. You know, it's like that belief system is like, um, I'm not good enough to make money. You know that concept? You don't deserve to make money because you're a bad person. So I started to see these concepts in my meditation. I go, wow, that's kind of new to me. And I saw that I had a lot of negative perceptions of myself in my relationships growing up as a child, that I created a belief system around me that prevented me from ever becoming prosperous. And so, you know, these mantras are powerful in the sense that they will remove and to dispel and to purge energetic traps that we have to achieving a certain goal. Does that make sense, guys? So it's not just all of a sudden you take the magic pill and then all of a sudden in 41 days, all of a sudden your bank account goes from $10 to $350,000. No, it's not quite like that. I wish it was.
So,
That would be a great path, huh?
yeah. So can I ask a question?
Sure.
So, in other words, a lot of these mantras are helping to reflect back to you things that are unconscious so that you can start addressing them and changing them so that you can have a healthier relationship with whatever it might be, parents, siblings, the world, your money. Um, yeah. So that's what you're saying, is that these can help me to see what's hidden within inside so that now I can start shifting and changing how I address or how I respond to circumstances in front of me.
Right. Wouldn't it be great if you were able to release fear in your life? I mean, if you think about it, we have so many concepts and so much emotional baggage surrounding fear that we have accumulated in life. You know, Swami saw that the Western students had a lot of fear, a lot of unworthiness, a lot of negative emotions that needed to be released, needed to be purged in order to become what? More divine. When there's a lack of fear, there's an abundance of love. When there is less anxiety, there's more space for compassion. When we release out our old concepts or anger, there's more humbleness and there's more forgiveness in our lives, which are all the divine attributes that we should all be striving for, because why? Because it makes us a happier, whole human being. And we can transform ourselves from a simple to a more loving, divine individual, which is what Swami's goals were. And I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the next section, which is about what else is possible, because that's really what we're talking about, Cecilia. We're talking about, what is really possible. I mean, once we become healed from within, or more capacity for love and more capacity to listen, and we have more capacity to relate to people as human beings, we can begin to help other people. We can help heal other people. It's really difficult to heal others when you're not healed yourself to some degree. And so that was the goal, that Sri Kalshwar wanted others to be healed, and so that they can heal or help other people just through normal human interaction, by talking to people, by listening to people. The energy flows automatically. And, there's that aspect of it. And also his path was the path of self-realization, of recognizing who we are, the self, the bigger self, the more connected self to divine source. And so this is the path of self-realization, about recognizing who we are, what our capacity is, how much energy we have, and where did we get that from? Where did we come from? What is the soul's ability in the world to recognize divinity around us? I know I went from a very common, like, okay, get better, transform, get rid of your stuff, become self-realized. I know it's a big jump, but this is only a 1 hour class to just get people acclimated to what's possible. So I made that jump. Hopefully it makes sense. Any questions?
So a lot of things on the internet and in the chats and that you see talks about the ascension. What is that, and how does that relate to this path and the tools that are here?
Good question. I know people talk about ascension, but you need a tool. What does ascending mean? To me, it sounds like, okay, I'm here stuck on the planet and I'm like this flesh and blood, but I'm trying to ascend to something greater than me. Ascension will happen naturally when you change your own inner vibrations. You don't have to escape this physical body. You don't have to escape the trappings of your mind. You don't have to escape the heartbreak and the disappointment that we've had in life. We just simply need to know how to release it, to purge it, to heal it. Because once we do that, we'll discover how much love and divinity already exists within us. Then, once we discover and heal the soul within this system contained in this body, to ascend to a higher vibrational frequency will be natural, will be automatic. You'll be able to understand the mechanism of soul traveling, not because you're in pain and you want to get rid of, this body and go to some other place. Automatically, you'll be whole and complete, and you'll be able to connect to a higher dimensional frequency, which is really very blissful, which is very natural to our humanity and our human existence. But we need to be able to go through the process of purification, the process of healing, the process of connecting to the divine source. Then automatically we'll be able to experience this ascension process. All ascension is connecting to a higher vibrational frequency that isn't accessible to us. That, okay, what are we talking about? Well, you can ascend to the level of angels, right? You can ascend to the level of Brahma consciousness, which is universal knowledge and wisdom. You can access the Akashic records so that when you want to learn something new, you're able to do it through your meditation. You're able to do it through mantras. Because if you're trying to access, for example, the Akashic records, there is a PIN code to it, right? If you want to access the healing womb of Mother Divine, there is a way to access it through mantra energy. So it's as if your soul is connecting to those higher vibrational frequencies and pulling it down into your soul and be able to make heaven on earth. Does that make sense?
I've heard that we're not our bodies and our thoughts. Is it true?
For sure, you're not your thoughts, but your thoughts are a reflection of something deeper that you need to listen to. I think that you're not your body, but the body is the temple that the soul and your consciousness are contained in. And the body is a vehicle to be able to ascend to higher levels of consciousness. So you need your body. We shouldn't see the body as anything but a temple for the soul and consciousness. How does that sound, guys? So it's now
Thank you.
Now we're approaching 11 o'clock. And if there are any other questions, this is going to be a series of conversations about power and the potency of mantras in your meditation practice so people can get more information. So I invite everybody to reach out to me via email or instant message me on Facebook or Instagram, or go to the website, paulrea.com. It's a simplest way to connect to me. And if you want to know more about it, about more of the upcoming classes and courses, you can reach out to me. Today starts the first day of 9 days of Navaratri, which is honoring Mother Divine. I will be posting live video onto various channels and website. And I want to encourage everybody to participate either online or in person in Los Angeles. You can reach out to me at paul@paulrea.com, and the link will be below. And I look forward to more conversation, more dialogue, more introspection, and more knowledge to how you can transform your life through meditation and mantras. You guys have any other questions? Great. Thanks so much for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you again next time on the next class. Take care.